If you're thinking of moving to Palm Bay, Florida, but aren't sure which part of Palm Bay you want to live in, this video is for you. If you're new here, my name is Alexandra Shupe, and I'm a local realtor down on Florida's Space Coast. I have people relocating to our area calling me every day, and I love to help guide them through the relocation process, so please don't hesitate to reach out. If you want to keep seeing videos about living on Florida's Space Coast, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification button so that you're notified every Friday morning when I post a new video. All right, let's get into it. Palm Bay, Florida is the largest city in Brevard County and is the second largest city in Central Florida, coming just behind Orlando. Because Palm Bay is so large, each area within the city is a little bit different. So let's start with the basics. Palm Bay is split into 4 quadrants: northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. The horizontal axis runs along Malabar Road, and the vertical axis runs straight down Minton Road. You may see some maps that run the vertical axis down Minton Road and then again on DeGroot. However, if you run that axis down DeGroot, there are still some southwest properties to the east of it. Therefore, the axis needs to be just a little bit east. Northeast Palm Bay is the most populated, and southwest is the most rural. Something I think that is important to note is the way that neighborhoods are set up here, because it was surprising to me when we moved from Georgia. I grew up in the suburbs, where when you ask someone what neighborhood they lived in, a neighborhood meant a community with a designated entrance with 1 or 2 ways in or out of the neighborhood, and the community may be gated and may or may not have an HOA. While there are neighborhoods as described in Palm Bay, there are also a lot of neighborhoods that are considered neighborhoods, but there's not a designated entrance, and you may have lots of side streets and access points. An example would be the courtyards at Waterstone versus the neighborhood of Lockmar, which you can see has multiple access points and intersecting side streets. Not only are the neighborhoods maybe a little bit different than what you're accustomed to, but city water and sewer are not available to everybody in Palm Bay. When city water is not available, the property is most likely to be put on a well. When city sewer is not available, a property will have a septic system. When my husband and I were looking for homes here, it was important to us to be on both city water and sewer because we had never had a well or septic system and did not feel like learning that beast at that time. So we focused our efforts looking in Northeast Palm Bay, where most residents are on both city water and sewer. Most residents of Northwest Palm Bay have water service only, meaning that those properties will be on a septic system. There is a little portion in the corner of Northwest Palm Bay that has both water and sewer service. Now, over in Northeast Palm Bay, as I mentioned previously, the greatest number of residents benefit from both water and sewer service. However, there are a few little spots where water service only is provided, meaning they will be on septic. When we look at the southern portions of Palm Bay, you can see that the southeast portion has a lot of residents with water service only. When we look over at Southwest Palm Bay, the vast majority of residents are on septic and well, because city water and sewer are not available. There are some areas where water service only is available and a couple of little spots where water and sewer are available, but most, like I said, are on septic and well. So, if you mind being on a septic or well system, you can focus your search just about anywhere in Palm Bay. But if you're like me and you wanted to be on city, water, and sewer services, you might want to focus your search efforts in Northeast Palm Bay. But don't forget that there are little pockets in the other portions of Palm Bay where you could find water and sewer service as well. Another item you'll want to consider when choosing a location to live in is where the flood zones are located. If you purchase a home in a flood zone A or flood zone AE, you're required to purchase flood insurance, which will be an additional expense that some people may want to avoid. Flood zones A and AE are high-risk flood zones that have a 1% chance of flooding each year and have a 26% chance of flooding over the course of a 30-year mortgage. As you can see on this map, Zone A is in blue, Zone AE is in green, and the yellow here has a 0.2% annual chance of a flood. Most of the flood zones are located in the southern half of Palm Bay. Now let's take a look at where you can get new construction in Palm Bay. Most new construction is happening in southern Palm Bay. There are quite a few new construction communities, such as the Courtyards at Waterstone, St. John's Preserve, Sanibel Cove, and the Preserves at Stonebriar, just to name a few. I actually did a recent tour at the Courtyards at Waterstone, and I'll put the link right here if you want to go check that out. New construction in Palm Bay starts in the high 200s and goes all the way up to the low 400s. Resale homes, on the other hand, start in the mid 100,000s and go all the way up into the millions. So if you're looking to live in a new construction community, you'll most likely be searching in southern Palm Bay. If you want to be closer to grocery stores, restaurants, and shopping, living in Northeast Palm Bay may be best for you. In Northeast Palm Bay, we're right near Hammock Landing, which is actually located in West Melbourne, but it is right outside the city limits and is on Northeast Palm Bay Road. Hammock Landing is a 750,000 square foot open air mall with several places for shopping such as Target and Sports Academy. If you want to live somewhere where you can have more land and less neighbors in a more rural area, Southwest Palm Bay may be best for you. Down in Southeast Palm Bay, while it's a little bit rural right now, it's not going to be that way much longer. There is a 5-year plan for an area called Emerald Lakes that is going to be built up around the St. John's Heritage Parkway interchange. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Thank you so much for watching my video. Bye!